What's up, y'all? Over here driving for a minute. I had to go run some errands and everything like that. So, I've been looking into this whole Airbnb side hustle as well. I wouldn't say side hustle. I'll take that back. It's not a side hustle. Just to add to my portfolio of investing. And I would say it's actually a pretty good idea. Because Airbnb charges by the day, you know what I mean? So once you start getting everything established and everything, and you find a location, because location is key, you feel me? So something that I've been thinking about and starting to do and stuff like that, because it does make sense if you do it a certain way. You can actually make a pretty good amount of earnings. So what y'all think about Airbnb? You know what I mean? You're still pretty much staying in the middleman, and that sort of speak, you feel me? Because what I've looked up, it's you pretty much renting out a property that you don't own, you feel me? You don't own the actual property, but there's like a fee for the visitors that come in that go to that property. So you actually, as long as you make more than the monthly of that sort of property, you win it. You feel me? So it's just based on how much you would charge a daily fee for out-of-towners that come in and want to see or want to stay in that location, you know what I mean? So, but I do understand and get that you have to have location, you know what I mean? Everything's about location, what's around the area, you feel me? What are the stores around there? What are the restaurants around there? Because we're not talking like like a hotel speak where everything is inside the building. We're talking now what is around the area. If I can go to the store real quick, get me some food. If I want to go out to eat, there's a couple nice, high 5-star restaurants in the area. You feel me? What's located? Why am I visiting this location? So that's something that I've been really thinking of getting into and figuring out the database on that, what are the hotspot zones that would be more consistent to where visitors frequently would want to go to that certain location. So these are some of the thought of mine and everything like that I've been thinking on what are the other middleman positions as a business owner in this investing side that I could also look into, because there is the old style way, but I guess people call it old style, but it works. The formula works, which is like a regular rental property. Rental properties work, you know what I mean? Regardless, you buy a property or you finance that property, one of the two. You put someone in it and they make payments once a month, But in this, so to speak, you feel me, it's daily. So you just gotta see what would be in the best, so to speak, you know what I mean? Because I don't see Airbnb going anywhere, and I do see the benefits, because I did read up on the website on what would happen if there was some sort of damage and stuff like that to the property, so they do cover it. So that's pretty cool right there. So you don't really have to worry about too much of, if I rent this out to so-and-so and so-and-so comes in and trashes the joint, then I got to pay all these repairs. So that's actually pretty cool right there, that how you could actually, get everything covered under your unit that you don't really own, you know what I mean? So, for example, let's say if you do have, a property that you're renting out, and that unit is like, $1,000 a month, but you're charging anywhere from, $500 a day, to rent out that unit on a daily fee, depending on where the location is and stuff like that. You win at the end of the month if you get, let's say you got 5 people stay, already you made your money back and the rent, you already recuperated your rent and utilities, and you only had 5 people come in. There's 30 days in a month, so it sounds like a pretty smart idea to me, to make some good clean cash, good cash just like that for cash flow and everything, because I've looked into other, being the person that's in the middle, that's just, you don't really have to operate and own the unit because you're saving off taxes. I've looked into the whole Amazon and Spotify, Shopify, where you're playing the middleman in that, where you're buying all these wholesale units, but none of the units that you're buying actually is storage at where you're at, your location. You're actually storing all the units at their warehouse. I feel like, Amazon did a good deal on that, where you're not even operating to where you got to do all the shipments and everything and have all the items and do all the packaging at your house. You feel me? So that was some cool little middleman jobs that you could actually make. I want to say, well, it is a job, but the sort of business, I should say, that you could actually make, a really good cash flow on, Well, I did look into it, but I already got this investment thing going. So, I'm thinking about doing that part as well, other than, the wholesaling and, just regular rental properties. Don't get me wrong, I feel like rental properties is a really good thing to do, because you could actually hang on to that property and not have to pay out so much money a year, because like I said, someone else is paying off that property, or if you buy the property cash, then it's just all profit. But there's some pros and negatives to everything you do, so it just depends on your preference. Would you rather have a daily amount of eating, or would you rather have a monthly amount of eating? You know what I mean? And so it just depends on how you market the property as well. Everything comes down to marketing. At the end of the day, how you going to market that property so it stays consistent for a daily flow, or even when it comes to rental properties, to make sure that your renters are staying long term after the lease is due. You know what I mean? Because once that lease is due, then you got to find and they want to move out, then you got to find a whole new renter, and then that property is just sitting. So it's the same thing on both ends. You know what I mean? It just depends, or you can just do a combination of both. It just depends on how you set up your portfolio. For me, I would more likely probably do a combination of all three. You know what I mean? That way you're never lacking on one sort of situation. You never put your eggs all in one basket. You know what I mean? You got your wholesaling going, popping. You got your Airbnb popping, and you got a rental property on hold as well too. So that way you always got some sort of income coming in. You know what I mean? You don't gotta rely on one source. And the only way you'll be able to do all those things is you're really not even spending your own money. If you know how to operate it and do things right, you're getting everything that you want, and you ain't even using your own cash. You know what I mean? So it was just some little quick giblets and thoughts that I came across on. I thought I would share with y'all on, some sort of speak of this investment, being an investor and everything, and just some, some free game and everything like that. And on if you were interested in being an investor and you wanted to go in this route, these are the sort of things that you can actually get your hands on and start doing with, with not even a lot of money. You know what I mean? A lot of people really think that you need, a lot of money to, get going. You really don't. You know what I mean? It's just finding the resources out there and understanding what you have to do to operate and to get everything going. So, like I said, this was just some free giblets and just talk, so to speak, and like that. So, but I'm getting ready to finish these errands real quick, and I'll see y'all in a minute.